check the oil on the Monza.
Oil's good.
We got a damn about 16 hours of driving and we found some beautiful. Right?
Right. So it's called the Jake Forsman Memorial Burnout Competition. That was your son, right?
Yes, Jake was my son.
So what exactly does the car show not mean to the community, but what does it mean to you? As far as an annual event.
Well, it's a way to keep my son's name alive. He touched a lot of people. He was the kind of person that would always reach out to you when you're down. If there was a group gathering and there was someone that was quiet and kind of off to their side, Jake would be the one that went over there and said, "Hey, what's going on? How, or the new kid in town, in class or whatever. He was the one that always made sure that you felt welcome. Just the kind of person that you always want to be around. And so just to be able to encourage that kind of attitude, that kind of community spirit that he had, it meant a lot to me. Well, Jake liked to have fun. There's no question about it.
Yeah, you're telling me a couple of stories about the car. Must have been having fun.
Yeah. So he and I built this car together. He loved working in the garage. Before we moved here, so we moved to Ely when he was 12, and before we moved here, we had already built a go-kart together. It was that kind of working with his hands that he always loved to do. And to be able to spend that time with him in the garage doing these projects, welding and wrenching and things like that, designing and planning, putting these things together. It was something special, and we had kind of an army of volunteers. I know we got our picture taken with the group of orange shirt wearers that were all the volunteers at the event surrounding the car, and I didn't count them, but it's like 30 people or
wow.
so that worked very hard to make this happen. I was surprised at how many people just swarmed around the idea of doing this, and I was also surprised at the embracement of the car show by the community itself. I gotta tell you, the most awesome experience I had at that event was I came in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I with the street sweeper or big broom on the front of the Bobcat, and I swept all the street because I didn't want to be throwing any rocks or anything in the burnout pit. So I swept the street out and started setting things up, but about 9 o'clock, and the car show was supposed to start at 10. And at 9 o'clock, I was walking from the library parking lot over towards where the silent auction tent was, and I'm looking over, and there was a line of cars backed up to Sheridan Street, waiting to get in, and there were already a number of cars into the event. It's like, you know what? This is really going to work. It's going to happen. People are going to have fun here, and I just all of a sudden got a smile on my face that I think lasted the rest of the day. And one of the great things about this event is we are raising a lot of money on behalf of or in the name of my son, who I mentioned to you earlier that while he was going to school, he was a blue collar worker. He worked in the heating and cooling industry. What we're really doing here is all about promoting this scholarship, promoting blue collar work. And the fact that we love cars is kind of the thing that entices us to get to learn how things work and want to make them work. And it's that same kind of attitude that goes into any of the blue collar type jobs. You know, it's like you figure out how things work and how they go together, and you use your hands and your brains to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
We in May in Ely here, we gave out $1,000 scholarship to one young man that we raised through the car show. And then later in May, we went over to the Northeast Range High School in Babbitt and gave out another $1,000 scholarship. It's about promoting the car show and the good that it's intended to do for both the community and for our students. So that's what it means to me.
That's what it's really all about. At the end of the day, looking back, it's like kind of your summary on it.
That is it.
Okay. I like it. I don't
Me
know.
too.
I think I got plenty here.
Good.
There's a lot to sift through, so I could probably make a couple minutes out of it.
Nice. Hey, Carlin.
Al, how you doing?
Good.
You famous yet?
Did you pump that all?
Well, it was a lot better than trying to suck on a piece of vinyl tubing, I can tell you that much.
Had to empty out a fuel oil tank and.
Oh, I didn't want to siphon it for some
Yeah, I
reason.
didn't want to siphon
Wow,
it.
that's
I don't
really
know.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been here since you left.
Really?
Yeah, we burned a lot of tape, I think.
That's good.
You got to get a couple hours to get a couple minutes out of it, so
Right.
he won't stop swearing or saying mean things to me, so
That
I have
sounds
to
about
cut a
right.
lot of it out.